Welcome back to Rounding the Bases Extra Innings. 4 final questions with Marc Braun. And if you've stumbled onto this on YouTube, or maybe you didn't stumble it, maybe you were searching for it, but if you have not listened to the audio version of the podcast, I hope you will do that wherever you get your podcasts. Rounding the Bases with Joel Goldberg and Marc Braun. Here's the first one for you. You said in the audio version of the podcast that one of the things that you do in playing small ball is 7.5 hours of sleep every night, in bed at 9:30. I do not need to be a smart math guy like you may be to figure out that means you're getting up very early in the morning, much more early than a baseball guy. What is the morning routine that sets you going every day?
Yeah. So my morning routine has been tweaked over the last 17 years. It's the first time I started it was 17 years ago. I didn't know it was important before. I try to spend 2 hours before I have an outside commitment. And so between 5 and 7 is time for me to get ready for the day. And a couple things that are constant in it over the last 17 years. The one is a time of prayer and meditation. It's a quiet time, basically, to be able to understand what's going on and to be able to feel that. And what I love is it has gone back and forth, and it ebbs and flows between whether it's called prayer or meditation. It's just basically, how do I quiet my mind to be able to understand how to get wisdom? And it's some of my most important time. If I don't have it, my whole system breaks down. Another one is some movement. Some basically, I love yoga, and just to be able to be flexible and healthy and strong. And then good nutrition and some cleaning, and that gets my mind all ready to go. And that's it.
And then off to the day and on to the next one, and so much purpose in your life. So that'll lead me to my second question. On the website for your company and your wife's company, encouragingleaders.com, right up front, right over your right shoulder, are the words grow in profit and purpose. The two are linked. So many people can struggle to find purpose. I think when you find it, it is magical. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of the discussion we had on the audio version of this podcast about small ball. I think that small ball and purpose are linked together. How are purpose and profit linked together?
Yeah. Well, I think in the family, half of my family serves in the nonprofit world, and half of the family serves in the for-profit world. And I have chosen to serve in the for-profit world. And but the whole family has had a purpose-driven perspective on the world. And I think about whenever I got to the point where I was old enough to understand that the purpose needed to come from, I needed to actually have purpose of my own, and where to serve. And, the skill sets that we learn in business about how to actually serve clients and what does profit mean? Why is it there? For me, it's such a beautiful reflection of the value that business entity creates. And so I love the fact that for-profit businesses create profit, which creates value. It's a measure of the value you're creating as an entity. And that can be poured back in and invested back in the growth and the development of the people that are involved in the business. And so it's this self-funded model. It's a self-funding model. You don't have to actually ask for money because you're delivering value, and that's creating the money flow that creates the profits that gets reinvested. And so once you have both engines running of what you want to go out and do in life, the purpose that you want it to serve, and it's self-funding, it actually can grow in its ability to impact. And so I love working with businesses that want both things. I don't really get excited whenever a business only wants to generate profit because I don't know what it's for. Why are you doing it? And so it's not an end, it's something for something. And if it's for the purpose that's behind the business, I love serving those businesses. It's not an either or, it's a yes and.
Love it. Totally agree. Third question, I'll go more lighthearted. Yeah. We always in our research have some fun facts. So a fun fact that I'm looking at, if it's not true, tell me I don't know, whatever, but I'm assuming it is, that you have performed with the international champion barbershop chorus, 160-man chorus. Is this true?
Yeah, I didn't even know they existed. 160 men singing. It's a wall of sound. These are, I mean, I am at the lowest end of the quality spectrum, and I can sing. But these are really, really excellent singers with top conductors that are barbershop is a tight chorus. So normally the reason you only have 4 people on it is because the notes are very close together. And if you're off by any amount, it sounds horrible. But if you're on perfect pitch, 4 men, you can blast it and it can actually sound like this wall of sound. So this 160 men chorus, the international champions, are right here in St. Louis. And they're directed under Jim Henry. He's the most incredible director. And I was able to sing with them on the stage. And I was like, it was way above my pay grade. But I got to be part of it. And I could be with them. I didn't mess them all up. But it's an amazing group of human beings. And the sound is incredible. Go look them up. They do a Christmas concert and a summer concert. It's just incredible.
Oh, if I were, well, nobody would ever ask me to be in there, but if I was, I mean, the closest I get is that was my mom's expertise, and my daughter, it's been passed on to my daughter, but I would be up there basically just pretending, but you wouldn't have anything coming out of my mouth. I'd fake it.
My wife is really good, and all the kids have gotten her capabilities, and I'm the one who has to listen to them sing really well. But it's pretty fun. It's so cool. fun thing to do.
Okay. Last question for you. My walk-off question here on Rounding the Bases Extra Innings is, you mentioned the conductor for that course. That's the ultimate coach. My wife and I, this might surprise some people. I don't know why a baseball guy couldn't also enjoy the arts, but we go to the symphony here. And I'm not an aficionado. My parents are in Chicago. So my mom helped us for our season tickets this past year, pick out the ones that she thought we would enjoy the most. But I'm mesmerized by the conductor, some more than others, and they all have their different styles. And so managing that 160-man course is a work of art, I'm sure, in itself. And I think that there's a lot of nuance to that. I'm segueing into what you're doing with your CEOs, that you're the conductor in many ways. I mean, they're doing their own thing. We talked about that in the podcast. They're the ones that are going out there and having those wins and the losses for that matter too. But you have a say in it as that coach, as that person that is helping oversee and to encourage them, to encourage these leaders. How much joy does that give you when you see them having that success? Yeah.
So first of all, the amount of joy is and gratitude that I have in my heart, it's overwhelming when I get to see them peacefully and confidently and calmly leading at a heightened pace. I love whenever I hear we're growing faster than we've ever grown, and it feels easier than it's ever felt. So that is incredible. The reality is I am not the conductor. So the conductor bows. I don't know if you know, at the end of the symphony, he bows. I don't take any bows.
Yeah.
They are actually doing that work. They are playing that work. And I'm trying to lift their capabilities to be that incredible conductor. And so it's actually a different role than the conductor. But the joy, oh my gosh. I mean, I was with 3 CEOs this morning that I coach, and they were talking to each other, and they were sharing how it's going with life. And I'm just beaming. I can't stop smiling because of what I hear in their leadership. It's incredible.
I actually wasn't sure whether that was going to be the right analogy or not, but I'm a segue guy. I live in a world of segues. And so no bows, humbly so, and rightfully so.
Yeah, well, we don't step on the field. The coach never steps on the field, and he's on the field. Yeah. The conductor is, and so it's interesting. I love the analogy, and I love the conversation.
Yeah. Well, it's all been great. And again, I want to encourage everybody to check out the website, encouragingleaders.com, to check out the audio version of the podcast. Share it with everybody. You'll find a lot of inspiration from what Marc is doing with his company and his wife, as well as the memory of their late son and so much more. Marc, thanks again for spending time.
Thank you, Joel.